Right. We are there. And welcome, viewers. We are ready to roll. Sawa Josie, stand by tafadhali. Wonderful. That is amazing. Welcome to our program today, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Gerald Paul, and if you like it, unaweza niita Gerald tu hivyo, inatosha hiyo, lakini wengine wananijua kama G the King, na nafurahi sana kukuwa na wewe. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and definitely we want to know where you're watching us from, and definitely you're getting us at ENTV live on Facebook, getting us from Kitengela TV on Facebook, and also Kitengela TV on YouTube, and at livenow.co.ke pale YouTube, and also you're getting us from livenow.co.ke stroke KTV. Definitely we have a lined up show for you today, and we want to know where you're watching us from, and we want to know where you're getting us from. We want you to comment down there and tell us what you have to say from wherever you're watching. And by the way, we are always so concerned about businesses, and we want to hear how is your business doing during this COVID-19 wave 3 season, whereby I know businesses are actually catching up and people are trying to, come up with new ways and different ways of selling and buying, and business is taking a new direction, and definitely the country and the world has to continue moving whether there is COVID-19 or not. And are you keeping safe? If you're keeping safe, please let us get engaged so that we can be able to know how are you keeping safe during this COVID-19 season. And in case you see something unusual, or in case you see some breaking news or something that it can be of concern to us, or something you would want our viewers to be able to know, do not hesitate to call us on 0798155000, or even leave us a message in any of our pages, right there on Facebook, right there on Twitter, and right there even on YouTube. Comment, we can always follow you and see how we can bring that one to attention, including your business. So wherever you're getting us from, please tafadhali bring your comments down there, tell us where you're getting us from, and we'll definitely be happy to hear from you, and we'll definitely be happy to also respond to you. Welcome. Today being the 9th day of the month, and of course, being a Friday, people are getting ready probably to get some 1-2 for the road, and make sure you don't drink and drive. When you drink, please make sure you calculate and know how you're gonna get home. And remember, if your country has some curfew, then make sure you're staying safe and you're obeying the law so that you're not caught on the wrong side of the law. We want every and all of our viewers to be safe from wherever they are. So keep those comments coming, keep those tweets coming, keep those that comment area going. Give us your like, and always share with someone so that they can be able to relate with what it is that we are talking about today. And by the way, to jump into the story, but just before I go there, I want to invite, or rather introduce, the person joining me today, and that is none else but Miss Josie. Miss Josie, namna gani? Hey, how are you there?
Hi, G the King.
Hey, how are you doing, girl?
I'm fine. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me tonight.
Yes.
And I'm so happy. As you can see, I'm so excited. It's on a Friday, yeah?
Yeah, I'm feeling like I want to go there for the clubbing, eh? And I think that if you go to the club tonight, if suppose there was a chance for the curfew to be opened, and then you were to go out tonight, what song would you go and listen to?
I love Afrobeat.
Uh-huh.
And I think I have a couple of them, but Maserati will be my...
Hey, Maserati. I think myself, if I would have gone there, probably I would have listened to Gauo. Gauo. That's the mood. I mean, I have to say something different. I mean, unataka niseme pia mi Maserati kama we?
No, but it's good music.
It's good, eh? The spirit in the air. Apple too. Good to see you, eh?
Good to see you,
too. Okay, so now today we have another sad story, and I don't know why people are dying everywhere. Do you think these are end times?
Hi, for me, I've been thinking that I think it's end times, and the things that are happening, I'll secret it twice. You're just seated there, and maybe you're scared, and maybe telling God, please. Tupulize yako katarubeta, please. Bado sijaishi.
Hiyo tarumbeta asipige haraka hivyo, sio?
Asipige saa hii manzi.
Na sana na naona kama tarumbeta itapigwa na either Angel Gabriel ama Angel Michael. So whoever it is mwenye ako duty ya tarumbeta akanyagie manze akanyagie kidogo asichape haraka juu sasa tujaishi wengine wetu hata manze we are still waiting for those days manze. Tunataka pia tuishi long kama maybe President Moi ama Prince Philip, tunataka tuishi hivyo. So, speaking of Prince Philip and actually Daniel Arap Moi, those two have a relationship, and definitely very soon, niko sure maybe leo, because Prince Philip leo ndiye anafika kule heaven, wako zile, yani wamemeet na Moi tena huko heaven, juu waliwahi meet hapa hivi Kenya, sasa amemeet huko heaven, na niko sure wako wamehug ile kidogo, wamegoteana. Wewe unaimaginaje hiyo scenario Moi na Prince Philip wamemeet? What would be the scenario?
Wanaulizana unanikumbuka ile kwenye nikamuko Kenya John. Alafu Moi anamuuliza. Mambo iko aje? Because I think Moi hakuacha nini? Hakuacha COVID-19, si ndio?
Hakuacha COVID.
Hakuacha. Manzo uko ni kubiad. Watu tu wanavaa mamask ni kunoma sana brother, but hivyo kuja mapema before. Ni kubiad.
Alafu anamwambia karibu huko Earth, ulikuwa wewe ndio ulikuwa na mrembo, na mimi nilikuwa ngasingo huko Earth. Sasa umekama hapa na ujue mimi nilikuta mrembo wangu huku. Sasa wewe tulia, mimi ndio king huku, mimi ndio kingpin. Aona vile Prince Philip amefika hapo, Moi amemreceive kwa zile za wapi iko kwenu London unafanya namna gani, and then Philip naye anamwambia London is doing good, kama unarudi umekuja hawa mbinguni. Anamtake round, anamwambia hii ni bali ile nyumba ya gold, hapa ndio iko mahali ile watu naishi wa kitambo, tumepanga nyumba ya kina Kibaki hapa na wengineo. Magufuli mmefika chuzi, lakini tumekaribisha yeye, achaanza kushika, lakini hako na makosa, alikataza watu kuvaa mask. Oh
my God.
Anyway, you have to crack a joke always to make that one. Anyway, good. So the news that we have that is hitting the headlines today is that Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, who was also a member of the British royal family, as the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, and he's dead. Breaking news. Very bad. Sad story. We are laughing about a few other things. We're trying to make the moment light, but Yeah, he's dead. That is it. That is him and the wife, who is also the Queen Elizabeth II. And Philip was born in the Greek and Danish, into the Greek and Danish royal family, and he was born in Greece. But his family was exiled. His family was exiled from the country when he was 18 months old. You can imagine, 18 months old, they were exiled from the country, and he was born on 10th June 1921. And also, he died today in the 9 April 2021. Her spouse was Queen Elizabeth II, and they married in 1947 to 2021. They have children. Their children are Charles, Prince of Wales, Anne, Princess Royal, and then Prince Andrew, who is the Duke of York. Siblings, they have Princess Cecily of Greece and Denmark, and there is much more to say about him. And as you can see, he's a man who has lived his life a little bit well. He has had moments here and there. He has had fun in this world, not like us wenye bado tujafikisha miaka mingi kama ye, but he's gotten 99 years in this world, and definitely he was to get on 10th of June, he was to get to 100 years old. So I would rather say in the next 2 months he was to become 100 years old. And today we would be talking about a 100 years old man who has already lost his life. And we are sending our condolences to the family, to the royal family, and also to everybody else who relates with Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who was born Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, and the 10th of June 1921. And I don't know, 1921 to 2021, that sounds like 100 years already. And he was a member of British royal family as the husband of Queen Elizabeth II. And there is much more to study about him, but first, before we can even go there, maybe Charles, Prince of Wales, and Princess Royal, and then Prince Andrew, Prince Edward. Prince Andrew is the Duke of York, and then there is Prince Edward, who is Ali of Wessex. Hey, nakwambia, sewa na maneno. So, yeah, because you see, you always have to get something. And today we have quite a number of things, even the reactions from the people of England, maybe the people of United Kingdom, to hear what exactly happened to them. But himself, he was also, he was a great man. He has impacted a lot of people, and battles and wars that he fought, maybe some of them being Second World War, the Battle of Crete, Battle of Cape. I mean, there is so much about him, and he has also awards mentioned in Dispatch, and then he had a lot of things that he did, and definitely I would love to involve you, Josie, to hear probably, I know, yes, and I want to see, first of all, before we go there, we want to see the reactions of the Prime Minister, or rather even what they had to say. Let's hear the Prime Minister as he announces that.
It was with great sadness that a short time ago I received word from Buckingham Palace that His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh has passed away at the age of 99. Prince Philip earned the affection of generations here in the United Kingdom, across the Commonwealth, and around the world. He was the longest serving consort in history, one of the last surviving people in this country to have served in the Second World War. At Cape Matapan, where he was mentioned in dispatches for bravery, and in the invasion of Sicily, where he saved his ship by his quick thinking. And from that conflict, he took an ethic of service that he applied throughout the unprecedented changes of the post-war era. Like the expert carriage driver that he was, he helped to steer the royal family and the monarchy so that it remains an institution indisputably vital to the balance and happiness of our national life. He was an environmentalist and a champion of the natural world long before it was fashionable. With his Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, he shaped and inspired the lives of countless young people, and at literally tens of thousands of events, he fostered their hopes and encouraged their ambitions. We remember the Duke for all of this, and above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen. Not just as her consort, by her side every day of her reign, but as her husband, her strength and stay of more than 70 years. And it is to Her Majesty and her family that our nation's thoughts must turn today, because they have lost not just a much-loved and highly respected public figure, but a devoted husband and a proud and loving father, grandfather, and in recent years, great-grandfather. Speaking on their golden wedding anniversary, Her Majesty said that our country owed her husband a greater debt than he would ever claim or we shall ever know. And I'm sure that estimate is correct. So we mourn today with Her Majesty the Queen. We offer our condolences to her and to all her family. And we give thanks as a nation and a kingdom for the extraordinary life and work of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
Whoa, rest in peace, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. We are saddened by your death, and you know you're resting with the angels, and we believe that one day, one time, all of us are gonna meet you again. May your soul rest in eternal peace, and our condolences to the people of London, people of UK. I mean, we just stand with you in this hard time of mourning. We know you guys are not going even to attend the burial as expected because of the COVID-19, and this is a sad situation whereby you have to watch from a distance as one of your greatest leader is getting laid to rest. And we're going to be actually here to give you, our viewers, details as on how the matter is going to be unfolding until the day Prince Philip is laid to rest. Now, let's continue to look at what is happening around the world in regard to the same incident, because this is a great world leader. And also actually remember that Britain, or rather the Britons are in Kenya, is relating to them in terms of they were one of the people that colonized. Actually, we are their colony. They colonized us those years, but right now we have our own freedom. So, but now let's see how reactions went into the streets of UK in maybe London. Let's see how people were able to react, because of course definitely they must have a few reactions, and we were able to pick a few. So let's see the reactions from the people of London.
He was all over the place. He had a very peripatetic childhood and moved around a lot. And I think that gave him an inner strength which stood him in good stead for the rest of his life. But he didn't see a lot of his parents in his childhood, and was brought up by a variety of relatives. And I think that really moulded him and made him very self-dependent and independent.
Philip had to become less of a formal advisor, more, I think, of a family advisor, someone who'd run the family and to take control of issues such as the education of their children, etc., which would enable the Queen to have more time. So
they were called gaffes, but I think most of them he was just trying to put people at their ease and break the ice, and sometimes people are very nervous when they meet members of the royal family. So he tried to make people laugh, and sometimes it came off and sometimes it didn't, and sometimes some people were insulted by what he said, but most of the time I don't think he meant to offend anyone.
As you can see, that is, they were able to put a notice at the entrance, or rather at the gate of the palace, definitely. And yeah, as you can see, they are putting it there to make sure that the public knows what has happened to Prince Philip, and it reads quite a number of words. I know you can definitely come back and pause and read whatever the details that are there, the official details of the death of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. And we are saying the flags in that country has gone half mast, and that is it.
Princess Elizabeth and Lieutenant Mountbatten, looking very happy, thanked one guest after another for all the good wishes. And I feel sure they must have realized that at this time also, millions in Britain and the Commonwealth were thinking of them and their future. As the royal wedding draws near, the whole nation welcomes the opportunity of wishing long life and happiness to Her Royal Highness and to her fiancé.
It's been a challenge for us, but by trial and experience, I believe we have achieved a sensible division of labour and a good balance between our individual and joint interests. However, I think that the main lesson that we've learned is that tolerance is the one essential ingredient of any happy marriage.
Includes a few shots taken during off-duty hours in the wardroom with some of his fellow officers. Princess drove and the Prince acted as fireman. Quite a thrill, no doubt.
Her tour cut short by the tragic passing of her father, Queen Elizabeth leaves the Argonaut. There is no ceremony, but all thoughts for her at this sorrowful homecoming.
He had a clear eye, and he could see what was probably, what a waste of time to do it that way, or it might be better to do it this way. And I'm sure if he said it, I have no doubt he would. I mean, why would you keep it to yourself when you have an opinion and you think it could be better?
Nobody had really thought about, and by the way, what is he going to do? And it took a little while to find people who understood that he had extraordinary experience and skills of his own that could be made very good use of. But he also found ways in which he could make an impact.
To have somebody, that you can confide in and smile about something which you couldn't perhaps smile about in public is very, very important. And to be able to share that with somebody is immensely important.
All too often, I fear Prince Philip has had to listen to me speaking. He is someone who doesn't take easily to compliments, but he has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years. And I and his whole family and this and many other countries owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim or we shall ever know.
That was courtesy of the New York Times, and rest in peace, Duke. And Josie, have you been able to see how that story has unfolded?
Yes.
And
first of all,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm saying, did you see how the story it's unfolded from even the way he was in Kenya and she was in Kenya, or rather they were in Kenya together. They were about to go and spend some private moment together, and then that's when Queen Elizabeth was called and told, now your father is dead and you have to come. Yeah. They had to stop that particular picnic that they were having over there, right?
Yes.
What would you say in a nutshell about the loss of, what would you say to Queen Elizabeth? Perhaps, I know maybe she may not watch you, or she may, you never know. And if she was watching you today, what would you tell Queen Elizabeth as a lady personally? Because she's lost someone that they were so together, they are friends. I think this is a dream marriage of every woman out there, and even every man. I would really love to have a queen in my life that I can treat her the way Prince Philip has been treating the wife. And probably there is something that, of course, Queen Elizabeth has lost in her life, someone very important, the backbone, or rather everyone is saying is the backbone of her life. She's referred to him as the backbone of her life in so many ways. Maybe in your reaction as a lady, what would you want to say to Queen Elizabeth?
I would want to, first of all, my condolences to the family, and it's sad. It's sad, like losing your husband. And again, I've noticed like they have been married for 70 years. That's a long time, And I think she should not be very sad. Actually, she should be very grateful, and she should like celebrate the life of Duke, of her Duke. Oh my God, Duke! I love that. And like it's a privilege, like getting married to someone for 70 years, and they are still together until one person is dead. It's a privilege, and I know it's sad again, but again she should be thankful, and to God for letting her spend 70 years of marriage with the husband. I think for me, I would be more into celebration.
Hii jina celebration inaleta kierere sana, ni jina hii lugha yetu ya Kenya. Tafadhali viewers, tunaomba mtuelewe, jina celebration ilikuja na meli na hao watu wa kutoka Britain, na hao ndio walileta majina za Kizungu. Kizungu ilikuja na meli. Ilikuja na meli. Aha, so yes, it is something to celebrate, and actually thank God, because of the life well lived. We are actually not as much as mourning than celebrating the life well lived of this Duke of Edinburgh. And he had also started something they call the Duke of Edinburgh Award, a self-improved program for young people aged 14 to 24. And he was also the longest serving consort of a reigning British monarch, and the longest lived male member of the British royal family. He retired from his royal duties on 2nd of August 2017, aged 96. Oh my God, woo, this age, 96. That is when you're retiring. Here in Kenya, we retire at the age of 65. Is it 55 or 64?
55.
55? No, 64. 65.
55.
55?
No. 55.
Whatever the case, we are not even almost nearly. Oh, yeah, it's 55. No, it's wow. Whatever the case. He left his duties at the age of 96. Having completed 2,000. Now, listen to these figures. You know, numbers don't lie. 22,219 solo engagements since 1952. And Philip died today, 2 months before his birthday. Wow. Now, this one is a story to talk about. I mean, he had that award, and he was always, encouraging young people to do stuff, to play the games. Most of his speeches, you would hear him talk about the young people. He'd love to mentor young people, and he had the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. And it was just a self-improvement program for young people, and it's people between age 14 to 24. Look at that strategic. It's not talking about the people of 30 or 35. It's talking about 14 to 24. And what do you think? Would you say he was a mentor or something? And if he was a mentor, do you think there is something we can emulate as leaders in Kenya to what he was doing?
Yes, definitely he was a mentor, and as the African countries, I think we should borrow more of what he was doing, and maybe mentor the young generation that is coming up. And like most of the people that are in politics, they were not mentored. Maybe they just finished school and maybe think that they would go into politics, and that's why many of them don't survive or maybe perform. So I think if the leaders will emulate Prince Philip and maybe mentor the younger generation, before afike hapo, I think they're going to be good, and maybe they are going to lead the country better.
That is amazing. So definitely that is amazing. There is a lot to learn from him as leaders here in Africa, and also as young people there is a lot to learn from him. The fact that he had started this award, it means that he had a vision for a future generation that would have, because it's about self-improvement program for young people. So he's a man who wished to see young people improve themselves. Like, it's not about a group or a team or whatever it is. He wanted you to improve as an individual, and I think this is something that we can emulate, and it's something we can follow, because I usually say whenever a great man falls down, there is definitely a reason why this person came on earth, and there is something great to learn from them and to emulate, so that we can also live our lives better and well. And of course there is a lot to learn, especially the way he treated the wife. Our watu wa Kenya ambao wanaua bibi zao, you killing your queen, that is the wrong thing to do. Ama ni aje?
Yeah, true.
You should not kill your queen. Your queen is someone. Don't hit her. Let her be with you and walk with you. So now maybe going forward, we want to see the more reactions from the street of the United Kingdom, and people had much more to say. Let's see what people had to say in the UK.
How did you hear that news? I think it's very sad. He didn't make 100. Obviously, he was 99. Yeah, very saddened. But also, I'm glad he's at rest now. He was very unwell.
He was unwell. Well, it's an interesting question. There's a lot of controversy because obviously he made quite a few public statements that sort of in recent years have been, kind of interrogated a little bit more heavily than they were at the time that he made them. And so, yeah, it's obviously he's a controversial figure.
Oh, it's really sad. I know he was ill for quite a long time, but it's still shocking either way. He's been a big part of the British culture for a while now, obviously.
I think he'll be remembered quite well, just as kind of the head of the monarchy alongside the Queen. In that sense, yeah, just like the duration of his time as a monarch and as a father. But then yeah, he obviously does have another side to him, which is a little bit more kind of suspect. But I think people will remember him in a good way, mostly.
All right, thank you.
I just thought he was a wonderful man and supported the Queen, and she's lucky to have him. He was lucky to have her.
He was a good man. He was controversial now and again and said a few things out of turn, but he's been with the Queen over 70 years, longest consort that's ever been, and God rest his soul.
Aha. Those are reactions from more people in the United Kingdom. And Josie, can you see the way those guys are feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the mood is somber right there.
Yeah.
Would you want to tell them to stop mourning and start celebrating?
That's what I would tell them, you know, like you should celebrate. You know, it's a privilege, like living in this world for almost 100 years. You know, I think they should just celebrate the life that we have lived. That's all I can say.
Because
but
the man...
Again, it's not bad to mourn. It's good to mourn. But,
yeah. Yeah, it's the way of life. So maybe let's go over to more issues right there. We have the African heads of state that have reacted to this particular incident, and definitely our own president took some time before he responded, but later on he responded. I kept on waiting. Is Uhuru not gonna say anything? Is he going to respond to this? I kept on feeling the vibe, like, why is my president not saying anything about it? But yeah, but later on he managed to say something, and that is what President one of the presidents there, that is Farmajo of Somalia, he was able to say what you can see right there in our screen. Those are some of his comments. And then we have also President of Zimbabwe, that is Mnangagwa, and he also was able to speak about about the loss of this great leader. And then we had also the president of Tanzania, that is Hassan Suluhu, who was also able to speak and say something on Twitter. But then let's look at this one. I need that one actually to remain. Look at how Suluhu wrote the name people. He wrote Peopoplo on Twitter today. That's not my problem, it's Suluhu Hassan. Do you have people that help you to look at your tweets before you can tweet? Do you have, something we call proofreading? So if you have leaders there and you have a team behind you, presidents should not tweet by themselves. Sometimes you have somebody to do the proofreading for you. And there is this something we call Grammarly, or rather, Grammarly, which can help you to look at the name, like the word people. If we can repeat that word again, you can see she had written the name people wrongly on Twitter. What do you want to say about that, Josie? But the president of TZ misspell the word people. It's P-E-O-O.
Why? Like, why are they embarrassing their president? Definitely she's not the one who wrote the tweet.
Yes.
She's not the one who tweeted, so I don't... Like, the whole country, hakuna ama before the tweet was like wamemaliza hawa proofread or something. You embarrassed your president, and that is very bad. And again, we should understand them. How hawajui Kiingereza, wakisoma Kiingereza, so they are so used to
Swahili.
So yes. Because for them, I think they would, I don't know how they do Kiingereza, like, how do they study Kiingereza? Do they like say, ati leo tasoma Naomi, I'm a babu. I don't know how they do that, but they call it Kiingereza, you get. So tusimjudge sana. Error happens. Kizungu ilikuja na meli, and you know, we should not judge people kulingana na their English. It's actually not their first language. Kwanza, this is the African.
But this is the first person. This is the head of state. Seriously, I mean, the only challenge.
Walimuembarrass. She's not the one who wrote. I mean,
Why are you teteaing her so much? You're really speaking for her. Like, I know you girls love one another. You love her because she's a girl like you. But you see, definitely, if something is wrong, let's call it wrong. I mean, this is the head of state. I feel represented nicely when I see her tweeting. Like I told you, I was so scared when I saw my president not tweeting. I was like, why are you taking long, Mr. President? Are you not aware? I almost started, lamenting there on Twitter, and, even making sure. I was wondering, why is he not saying anything? So when Suluhu Hassan tweeted, then I was like, oh, wait, what is that? P-O-P-E-O-O-P-L-E. I mean, what? People. I mean, I was like, wow, this is not... The head of state is not supposed to mistake like that because she has a team. Anyway, like you said, Kiswahili ilikuja kwa meli, Kizungu ilikuja kwa meli, na ni hao tu watu wa England walituletea, so we can actually understand that and say it's a mistake. But definitely the Kenyans on Twitter are going to really talk about that because they don't they have zero chills. Yeah, they just have zero chills on everything. So let's see what else do we have ahead of everything else. Yes, there was those reactions from the heads of state, and definitely we had different people, responding differently. But then again, yes, so we have much more on Boris Johnson, and he was able to respond on, and he was able to do some nice announcement, and probably the official announcement of all this. Let's hear what the official announcement had in it.
It was with great sadness that a short time ago I received word from Buckingham Palace that His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh has passed away at the age of 99. Prince Philip earned the affection of generations here in the United Kingdom, across the Commonwealth, and around the world. He was the longest serving consort in history, one of the last surviving people in this country to have served in the Second World War, at Cape Matapan, where he was mentioned in dispatches for bravery, and in the invasion of Sicily, where he saved his ship by his quick thinking. And from that conflict, he took an ethic of service that he applied throughout the unprecedented changes of the post-war era. Like the expert carriage driver that he was, he helped to steer the royal family and the monarchy so that it remains an institution indisputably vital to the balance and happiness of our national life. He was an environmentalist and a champion of the natural world long before it was fashionable. With his Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, he shaped and inspired the lives of countless young people, and at literally tens of thousands of events, he fostered their hopes and encouraged their ambitions. We remember the Duke for all of this, and above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen. Not just as her consort, by her side every day of her reign, but as her husband, her strength and stay of more than 70 years. And it is to Her Majesty and her family that our nation's thoughts must turn today, because they have lost not just a much-loved and highly respected public figure, but a devoted husband and a proud and loving father, grandfather, and in recent years, great-grandfather. speaking on their golden wedding anniversary, Her Majesty said that our country owed her husband a greater debt than he would ever claim or we shall ever know. And I'm sure that estimate is correct. So we mourn today with Her Majesty the Queen. We offer our condolences to her and to all her family. And we give thanks as a nation and a kingdom for the extraordinary life and work of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah, definitely. Going right there, you could hear what the statement is like. That is the official statement and the official announcement of the day about the death of Prince William and Prince Philip. And yes, there has been a lot of reactions going in and going out, and we do not want to make that one to be a happy story, but then we want to make it also to be something to celebrate and say that it was nice that Prince Philip was here. And I know so many people are asking, why is he called a prince? And do you, Josie, have the same question? Josie? Hey, Josie.
I'm here. I'm saying.
Yeah. Why?
I also had like the same question as why was he called a prince? He's the husband to the queen, and nili research kidogo, and I found out that according to the British, what is it called? British what?
Monarch.
Yes.
Yes.
For them, when your spouse is for example, if you are the king and your spouse is supposed to be the queen, but for the king, it's not the same thing,
Say that again.
So,
if you are
saying, if you are a king, your spouse is supposed to be the queen. But if you are a queen, your spouse is not supposed to be the king, according to them. So I think Queen Elizabeth introduced the prince. I can't remember very well what it's the prince what, but that's how she came up with the name. That's how she came up with the prince.
Okay.
I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yes, I'm following.
I've tried, right?
Yeah, you have tried. Definitely, you have tried. You never disappoint.
But at least I have an idea.
Yeah.
Why he's not the king, but he's the prince.
Okay. Because in the monarch there is a way they look at it, because as in if you look at the actual thing, you will see he cannot be the king because he was not born into the lineage of the leaders that are supposed to be the king, the queen, and all that. So if you're born maybe differently from another area, then that makes you, or rather if you are born in another region, you cannot come and become the king, but then we respect you because you are the husband to the queen. So even if the queen would have died, not like the way in TZ that the president died and the deputy president became the president, in there when the queen dies, then it couldn't have been him becoming the king, because that would mean transferring the royalties to the other family, or rather to another lineage, and that wouldn't be. And also in the children, unless you are a firstborn, then you cannot also become that, not unless under circumstances. So there is quite a lot to follow there. And definitely we want you to come in. I saw some people, commenting so much. I mean, Kenyans, we are very naive. Sometimes, I didn't say all of us though. And I saw the comments, people asking, why is he a prince? Someone, they brought the English, but they don't know how to use it. They did this. Why is he a prince instead of being a king? This.
Supposed to be the king.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Proud Kenyan.
Yeah, and I was hitting myself here, like, oh my God, Kenyans. What are you asking? You shouldn't ask if you don't know. But anyway, asking could lead us to ujinga. That's what we say. Like, asking is okay. It's okay to ask, but you don't have to attack. But most of them are using attack as a form of asking. There is this trending, but just before we go to that other trending thing over there is Sheila. Sheila, welcome. Hey, Sheila Mwende. Hello there, Sheila. Okay. Sheila, you're missing? Okay, all right. So Sheila is not there, but I want to see, are you having, I want us to look at what other things were there on Twitter about Prince Philip, then we can wrap up that side of Prince Philip. Probably, let's see other tweets that happened during the day about Prince Philip. There's some tweets there. We're trying to check out those tweets. There was a nice video, did some screen recording for some more on Twitter about what people are saying about Prince Philip, and you will see not that one, not that one, not that one. Let's see, maybe that first.
Princess Elizabeth and Lieutenant Mountbatten, looking very happy, thanked one guest after another for all the good wishes. And I feel sure they must have realized that at this time also, millions in Britain and the Commonwealth were thinking of them and their future. As the royal wedding draws near, the whole nation welcomes the opportunity of wishing long life and happiness to Her Royal Highness and to her fiancé.
It's been a challenge for us, but by trial and experience, I believe we have achieved a sensible division of labour and a good balance between our individual and joint interests. However, I think that the main lesson that we've learned is that tolerance is the one essential ingredient of any happy marriage.
Includes a few shots taken during off-duty hours in the wardroom with some of his fellow officers. The Princess drove and the Prince acted as fireman. Quite a thrill, no doubt.
Her tour cut short by the tragic passing of her father, Queen Elizabeth leaves the Argonaut. There is no ceremony, but all thoughts for her at this sorrowful homecoming.
He had a clear eye, and he could see what a waste of time to do it that way, or might be better to do it this way. And I'm sure if he said it, which I have no doubt he would. I mean, why would you keep it to yourself when you have an opinion and you think it could be better?
Nobody had really thought about, and by the way, what is he going to do? And it took a little while to find people who understood that he had extraordinary experience and skills of his own that could be made very good use of. But he also found ways in which he could make an impact.
To have somebody, that you confide in and smile about something which you couldn't perhaps smile about in public is very, very important. And to be able to share that with somebody is immensely important.
All too often, I fear Prince Philip has had to listen to me speaking. He is someone who doesn't take easily to compliments, but he has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years. And I and his whole family, and this and many other countries, owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim, or we shall ever know.
Yeah, amazing. And definitely we've just had to repeat that video because there is something we are mentioning there about Kenya, courtesy of New York Times. And we are saying this is Queen Elizabeth was in Kenya. I mean, we are proud, like at least she visited us. She was able to visit Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, and today they are meeting together with President Moi there in heaven. That is Prince Philip and Moi. They're meeting wherever they are, and rest in peace, guys. So it means that the world is still moving, and definitely even one day maybe all of us are gonna be getting old. If God gets us there into 99 years, we're gonna be able to also join at that time. And we're just going to Twitter, jumping to Twitter. We have the first trending number one is Prince Philip, trending on with a hashtag RIP DMX. DMX, RIP DMX. And then there is number two, trending in Kenya. Number two is Kenya is a sovereign state. And then Kenya is a sovereign state. That is something really trending. Then we have also, as you can see there in our screen, we have that is Prince Philip has been trending the whole day since the moment this happened. And then Kenya is a sovereign state has been at number two right now as we're speaking. Then we have K Club H2O, that is something to do with alcohol, which is at number 3. And then we have Queen Elizabeth at number 4, and we have Ali Simons at this is Al Simons, which is at number 5. But then again, Apple at Prince Philip, you see a lot of people had a lot of jokes. Like that one is a video of blacks. They are laughing about him because at some point he had said that when he happens to reincarnate, or if he happens to come back again, he would come and finish the blacks, or rather finish the Africans, or whatever it is that he said. And the blacks were not happy about that comment, and that's why probably most of them were not happy with him, with Prince Philip. But then again, he did not mean anything wrong. It's only that sometimes we throw things out of proportions. And you can see on Twitter today, there has been a lot about him, and so many people are also joking. And that's also the video that we were able to play for you right there, of them also putting that thing on there, and then on the door of at the entrance of the monarch, so as probably to alert the public. And there is much more to say about Prince Philip, because people all over the world know him, and he was is a world icon, and others are joking about the death, and we urge people not to continue joking about it, because this is also a father, a grandfather, and a husband to someone, and sometimes you may crack the jokes or take the jokes too far, like we did in one of our videos over there. And definitely, what would you want to say about those people who are joking about his death on Twitter? Josie. What would you want to tell the people that are joking about Prince Philip's death on Twitter?
What I would say, that's very bad. And I don't know what people think when they're joking on social media on serious issues. Hey, but it's not good. And I think they should ask themselves, what if they were in their shoes, or what if somebody from the who they are related to passed on, and then people are joking about it. It's not funny. It's not funny. And I think people should change how they react sometimes on social media.
Yeah, people should actually change how they react on matters, sometimes especially matters like that one, which is also someone's family and very even very important person. I saw other people calling him corpse and saying he was a corpse even before he died and all that and all this and that, and you realize this someone is actually posting something terrible, and you don't want to hear that. And it's not very good to listen to people when they are joking about someone that you loved. And sometimes they say it's no longer funny when it is about you or about your family member, and don't wait until when it is about your family member so that you realize it was a bad joke. Anyway, trending there at Club H2O, it is Furahi Day. Sema Furahi Day.
It's Furahi Day.
And guys cannot go to club. But yes, what are you saying?
I'm saying it's Furahi Day in other counties, but for us, we are indoors. People wamefungiwa sana, so it's not Furahi Day, is it?
Yeah, but definitely it doesn't mean kama umekuwa na kawiki kazito, umekuwa na vitu mingi sana za kufanya over the week na wiki imekusumbua kidogo, usijali. Sasa hapa kuna kitu ina trend kwa Twitter na ndio hii hapa tumekuwekea kwa screen. It is something that has been trending, and it's about, K Club H2O. They are telling you to drink water to when you're going to drink, and there is something we are called alcohol IQ. Alcohol IQ. Have you heard about it, Josie?
Sorry?
Have you heard about alcohol IQ?
Not really.
Alcohol IQ is something to do, some product right there, I think EABL or something, advertising something. But then again, there is this game. It's not a Kenyan game. It's someone else created it, but I think it's trending in Kenya. It's alcohol IQ to check if actually you have some intelligent quotient before you go to drink or before you go there to do whatever it is that you're gonna be doing right there. And it's created by it's called Diageo. So it is a game, and you have to play it. Let's see how it is played. You log in right like that. You go to the interface, and then it asks you questions like what we have right there. That is one of the questions, so you have to answer the question. Then I got that one right. I played the game, then I went again, I looked at that one, I answered the question. Then I looked at that one, it has only 10 over 10 questions, so I answered that one again, I got it right. And it has to ask you if you understand alcohol. So I want to see if I understand alcohol. Then I was asked that another question. I answered, I was right. And then I answered that one, I was right. There's another question there. I know you can read it. If you can't read it, you can pause. Then I answered, and you can see some description there. I got it right. Then I answered another question. That one, I answered, I got it right. There, another question there. I answered. It was right. And another one. Oh my God, Josie, can you see that?
Yeah.
I think I then that one I answered, I was still right. Then I played another one, and let's see what marks I got. Here I stayed a little bit. I couldn't know the answer very well. Then I answered, and then again And I answered that one, but I was a 50-50. I didn't know what to pick, but I picked. Anyway, I was right. Then I thought about it and I got it. And then this other question, I got it right, but this time round. And then, yeah, I thought I would miss this, but I didn't miss it. Then, yeah, I was 50-50, but I got it. And guess what? 10 over 10! Hey! I got 10 over 10 and I ranked them to number 8 out of, I gave them number 8 as a ranking. Meaning, probably I understand, you know, a lot about alcohol myself, because at some point in my life I indulged myself. I indulged into alcohol for a long time until I came to realize that it is not healthy for my life, and I had to stop it, and I had to actually, you know, live healthy. And they are telling you to drink a lot of water. Don't give alcohol to children. Before you go to before you also take go to drink alcohol, always have a plan for your transportation, that you have a plan for transport. Are you gonna get home, and how do you reach there? So Josie, when you go out with your friends, do you have plans on how you're gonna get home when you're high?
Yes. It's actually very good to plan how you're going to go about your night. When you're going out, don't just go out because, you're just going out. You don't know how you're going to get home. Or maybe if you're driving and do you have a designated driver? I think you should know what you're doing. You should not just come out of the house and just go out. You don't know how you're going to get home. Yes, you should have plans. So when I'm going out, when I used to go out, yes, I should plan my night.
You should have a plan, and then don't drink and drive. If you know you don't have someone to drive you home, leave your car at home and use a Uber, because definitely the Uber guys, or rather the cab guys, are gonna take you home safely, and it is always safe because you have their details in your phone and nothing wrong can happen, because they also know they are being monitored. Also, do you think that children should be given alcohol so that they taste, so that they know how it's gonna taste when they grow up and all that? Maybe they can have a little bit of taste to know the dangers of alcohol early before they indulge in drinking. Do you think that is good?
It's not good. It's not good, and I think someone who has a right mind would never do that, because introducing your kid to alcohol at a young age, it's not good, because maybe they are going to get used to it. Iyo kuonja onja, they will think it's something that is it's good. I think you should let them attain the age of 18 for them to taste alcohol and maybe make decisions for themselves. You never know if they are willing to be drinking. So it's not good. I think it's not good to
it's not good at all. So in that game, you will meet that kind of a question, and it will definitely drive you to that, and then you will answer, and there is so many other questions. And also, do you think, by the way, alcohol consumption is prohibited for people under 18, under the age of 18, totally. But then let me ask you another question that was interesting for me. Do you think alcohol, if same people of the same size and the same gender, if they take alcohol of the same level, like say we are the same gender, but different gender, but of the same size in the body, and then we take alcohol of the same size, is it gonna be of the same effect to us? Like if you're same kgs, same size with me, then me, you, and then we take alcohol of the same size, and you are gender, you are female and I'm male. Is it going to have the same impact to us, or rather is it going to be of the same amount in our body?
Well, I've never thought that question, something like that, but I think gender doesn't really matter, or rather the size or the weight. I don't think so, because I think it's going to react. It's reacting with the brain and the blood, right? I don't think I think it's going to have like the same impact, but it's going to depend on how bad a drinker you are or how good a drinker you are, if there's something like that.
Zing.
But I think the impact will be the same, because it's funny. Is it the way that he's drinking, or I know of many girls who can take a lot of alcohol than men.
Zing, you missed it. You missed it. According to that IQ, alcohol IQ, ladies are affected by alcohol more than men. We could be of the same mass, same height, same kgs and all that. Then we take alcohol and you are a lady and I'm a gentleman, because of the way a lady is created. The IQ, the alcohol IQ is saying that the ladies are more affected by alcohol. The smaller amount to the lady and the more amount to the man, because of the way the muscles and all that and the way it enters into the system. Then the lady is more affected. Seriously. So
Are
the
you
lady,
sure?
yeah.
Are you sure? Because I know of friends who can drink.
Now you see, it's not about the amount of alcohol you drink. It's not about the amount of alcohol you drink, but the female gender has. Yeah, the alcohol has more impact on the female gender than on the male gender. That's quite something I also learned today. I was arguing by day like you, but then when I looked at that, I was like, no, yes, and I decided to just be a little bit to miss, but then to my surprise, that was the answer. Like the men, the ladies are more affected by alcohol than the gentlemen. So sometimes it's good also to notice that and to know when you're doing it. Cindy? All right, now you know you should play that game. It's called Alcohol IQ. You will find it there online. It's on Twitter. It's trending. You can play around and be able to see how that one goes. And that having been said, probably, do you have something to wrap up the show? Josie, what would you want to say as we wrap up the show?
What I would love to say is thank you very much for having me. And I will tell my fellow people to take care of themselves. This COVID-19 is real. Just take care of yourself. Make sure you're washing your hands regularly, wear your mask properly. And Gerald, there's something I would love to say. Today I was using a public meme, and the way people are being transported, oh my God, like when you want to wanabebwa, it's bad. Like, see, watu wanabebwa like waine. And you can imagine if you are traveling with a kid, and it's crazy. Like, people should, watu wakatai, like ukiambiwa mnabebwa waine, no, just refuse, because sisi wenyewe ndio tutaitikia. You get? So I would just tell people to just be careful, just be safe, take care of yourselves, and yeah, everything is going to be okay. Let's all be optimistic. Let us not lose hope, and everything is going to be okay. For myself, I'm being optimistic, and I know one day things are going to get back to normal, and everything is going to be okay.
Everything is going to be okay indeed. And that is where we end this program. Just before I leave, I want to tell you, ukibebwa kwa matatu, if you find in a matatu that they are forcing you to sit 3 or 4 people, kata hiyo. We are calling upon the Ministry of Transport to really look into this matter. And thank you so much for bringing that up, Josie, because it is terrible. People are being, they are breaking that rule completely. It's as if in the matatu, COVID-19 does not exist. It only exists in town, where you come down and you find police officers arresting you and asking for some money from you. But it is dangerous to carry people like that in a matatu, and we are calling upon the Ministry of Transport to take action and go there and check out which matatus are breaking the rules, or rather breaking the law by carrying excess people, because it is risking people's lives already here in Kenya. Because you don't want to say wear mask and take care and be precautious, don't travel, we lock the countries, but when we come to the matatu, we are just inside there, so many of us, and we don't know who is gonna infect who. Having been said, thank you so much, Josie, for being with us. It's been nice to be with you, and I will be looking forward to see you once again in another live stream, and have yourself a lovely night, and thank you for coming. For the viewers who are there, you can always find us on ENTV Live on Facebook, Kitengela TV on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can find us on Live Now Africa on YouTube, and also on livenow.co.ke/KTV, every time, everywhere. And you can always be sure to catch up with the latest news across Africa and across the world at www.livenow.co.ke. I have been your host, Gerald Paul, and I've been joined by my very, very close person, that is Miss Josie. Asante sana kwa kuwa nasi, na uwe na usiku mwema. Have yourself a good night, and from Graphics Broadcast Media we say it's a good night. Goodbye.